Imagine standing at the edge of everything you thought you knew about funding your dream, your startup, your vision, only to realize that the path most talked about is crowded with compromises, betrayals, and slow death. Founders everywhere face this brutal truth. Relying on venture capital feels like signing a contract not just with money, but with losing your soul piece by piece. But then there's crowdfunding, a wild, raw chance to break that shackled cycle, to own your story fully, to fight not for approval, but for a legion that believes in you. What happens when founders choose this road less traveled, forsaking VCs for the crowd? It's both terrifying and electrifying because it slams the door on comfort and opens the gateway to pure liberation. This isn't just money. It's control, it's connection, it's freedom. Yet it's also a battlefield littered with pain, doubt, and relentless pressure. Every founder knows the gnawing fear that creeps in when a venture capitalist says no. That crushing rejection echoes, telling you you're not enough, your idea isn't good enough, your dream too wild. VC funding is a poison disguised as promise. Massive sums wielded by a few who demand not only equity, but complete ownership over your future decisions. You hand over your power, piece by piece, each term sheet, a chain tightening around your ambitions, your vision, your very identity. It feels like gambling with your essence, betting that someone else's agenda will align perfectly with yours. Spoiler alert, it rarely does. Now, step into the shoes of those who say no to this beast and decide to rally the crowd instead. Crowdfunding is not an easy path. It's not about quick cash or easy validations. It's about creating fire, sparking a movement around your idea. It's about finding your tribe, or better yet, forging it from chaos and hope. When founders rely on crowdfunding, they reject the system that asks them to conform, to downgrade their mission into something palatable for the few gatekeepers. They say to the masses, "This is for you. Join me. Believe with me." That invitation alone is revolutionary. It's a call to democratize risk, to rebuke exclusivity, to raw connect. But here's the brutal truth. This path demands total vulnerability, mastering storytelling not just with words, but with soul, endless engagement, and the thick skin of a warrior enduring relentless scrutiny. Most founders don't grasp this at first. They dive with wide eyes, hungry hearts, only to hit walls sooner than later. Campaigns flounder, promises stagnate, and the spotlight, the unforgiving spotlight of the crowd, shifts to judgment. Unlike venture capital, the crowd doesn't whisper sweet nothings behind closed doors. They demand transparency, accountability, and instant results. It's a pressure cooker that forges only the strongest, most authentic founders. Those who survive learn that crowdfunding is not just fundraising. It's leadership made visible, raw, and exposed. It's a zero-sum game of trust, a pulse check of your vision versus your execution. Fail here, and your reputation can shatter publicly in ways no silent VC rejection ever could. But then, for those founders who master this art, who dare to embrace this fierce communal fire, the rewards are nothing short of transformative. Crowdfunding tears down the old hierarchies, pulls the power back to the roots, into the hands of the many. Those founders don't owe equity. They owe the people who raised their voices alongside them. This creates a bond far beyond dollars. It births a movement where users become believers, believers become advocates, and advocates become co-creators. Suddenly, you're not just building a product, you're shaping a culture, a network, a tribe that propels you forward relentlessly because it's theirs too. This network is the armor against the loneliness that isolates so many founders trapped in VC worlds where cold numbers drown out human passion. And yes, it's tough. The load is heavy. The visibility is raw, demanding you show your flaws and battle scars openly. Founders must become warriors of authenticity, pushing beyond sleep, doubt, and fear to lead a decentralized army of believers. You sacrifice any illusion of privacy, control, or guaranteed safety. But in this sacrifice, you gain back an unbreakable spirit and a community wired for your success, not because of contracts, but because of shared belief. It's brutal and beautiful all at once. It's the closest thing to true freedom in a world that too often masks servitude as success. For investors watching this, understanding this dynamic is vital. Crowdfunding flips the script on investment. It's not about picking a tiny fraction of startups and excluding most. It's about enabling millions to back what resonates deeply with them, across borders and industries, creating a rich ecosystem where radical ideas survive and thrive. For professional leaders and visionaries, the lesson is powerful. Those who adopt this mindset create networks where control is shared, where trust is earned openly, and where transformation happens at the edges, not the centers. This distributed power grows resilience and alignment beyond anything the traditional VC model offers. It's a blueprint for unorthodox growth, designed for those unwilling to trade control for comfort. But beware. The shelf life of crowdfunding's magic depends on your readiness to engage fully. Half-hearted efforts get crushed. The crowd smells insincerity immediately. It demands relentless communication, empathy, and a willingness to fail publicly and learn faster. To stand out, founders must weave their story into every fiber of the campaign, ignite emotional fires that rival marketing budgets of billion-dollar corporations, and build real relationships, not just transactional support. This is no solo journey but a communal epic, where success means enabling others to win alongside you. When founders break this code, untold potential explodes. This is what separates the ordinary from the exceptional. The ones who burn for their mission, who don't wait for permission or perfect timing, who reject the ease of waiting for VCs, and instead leap into the storm of crowdfunding with raw courage. They know that the greatest power a founder can have is not money handed down by strangers, but a tribe that breathes life into their vision daily. They forge systems that honor genuine connection over superficial metrics. They are relentless in questioning the old rules and creating new languages of trust, ownership, and impact. Founders who follow this path are not just builders. They are revolutionaries, architects of new realities where freedom and collaboration reign supreme. So if there's fire inside, a hunger to be more than just another faceless startup tossed aside by top-tier firms, crowdfunding is not just an option. It's a declaration. A shout into the void that says, I claim my power, I build my tribe, and I own every inch of my future. It demands everything, but it gives back infinitely more. The chance to reshape your reality, to transcend the dull monotony of existing systems, to become sovereign in a world designed to tame the bold. Founders who master this dance don't just survive. They unleash radical change, turning their ideas into legacies carried by millions who believe not because a VC said so, but because they lived it and breathed it with you. Never forget, the world is waiting for those disillusioned by the old guard, those who reject ease for authenticity, who burn through illusions to find raw, unfiltered progress. Crowdfunding is their battlefield and their sanctuary. It is messy, risky, demanding. But it is also the place where true individual power is reclaimed, where misaligned brilliance finds its tribe, and where the future is forged from daring connection. This is where the rare gather, the misfits, the rebels, the few who blaze their own trails. This is the thread that binds founders to investors and visionaries, not by borders, contracts, or comfort, but by a roaring human fire that refuses to be extinguished. If that spark lives in you, then the choice is not just what comes next for your startup, it's who you become in the process. A force no system can cage, no VC can own, and no crowd can silence. So, are you ready to burn for your vision? Because the crowd is calling and it demands everything, but it also offers the world.